Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Harley Quinn, Season 2, Episode 9, Bachelorette. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to take care of some business first, then we'll get to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of this video, a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be Is It Worth My Time Motherland? Fort Salem is what's going to be up there. If you want to know when I'm going live again next, you can hit the bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my weekly schedule that I have up there. I post it every Monday, which I also mirror on my Facebook page as well. Speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page, and you guys can post stuff there and chat amongst yourselves. Also on suspendedfanimation.com, I've got links to all my social media. So that's Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, but no tier set up as of yet. And yes, it was a great episode. It was a very, very good episode. As you can see, the shirt that I'm wearing there. Yes. All right. So, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not watched the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking bitch, for the paddle. Yeah. So Harley ends up throwing a bachelorette party at Themyscira for Poison Ivy and invites along Catwoman, Nora Freeze, and the only friend she can find of Poison Ivy's who knew each other since kindergarten, Jen, or as she likes to be called, Jennifer. So, yeah. And you're saying, how in the hell are they going to Themyscira? Well, Themyscira has a spa. And basically they're going there to enjoy the sights and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was kind of funny. But was also funny was the B-roll on this one too, which is the bachelor party for Kite Man, which has Kite Man, Frank, Clayface, and King Shark out on a boat out in the middle of the water, and King Shark not wanting to go get outside, because as we find out that he ran away from his kingdom. He's mentioned this before, alluded to it and all this stuff, but a little lobster named Samson comes up and tells him he needs to come home. As Samson says, I've been trying to find you for months. Which I thought was damn funny. Phil Lamar, of course, doing the voice for Samson. And Disney had to have a shit fit over the Beneath the Sea adaptation they did. The Beneath the Sea. Oh my god, that fucking song about pooping beneath the sea. That was the one thing that was great about living beneath the sea that Samson has to impart to King Shark. So yeah. But going back to the A plot on this, of course, Harley had been so how can I say this? So it's a shit show of a bachelorette party is really what it is. The other women do not want to be there. Poison Ivy really doesn't want to be there either. And she basically just rips into them. She rips into the other girls that are there, the other women that are there, basically saying that it's Poison Ivy's party. They're going to be happy about it. They're going to fucking drink like their life depends on it. Otherwise, she's going to rip them a new asshole kind of thing. And so once they find out that there's actually a little island that's near Themyscira, that's just a ferry right away that has men on it, they're like, yep, we're going there. And of course, that's when the drinking starts. And Nora Freeze hooks up with Maxi Zeus, as we've seen him before in a previous episode. And some funny shit ensues. Jennifer, sees Hades' outline of his penis, and that's the best night of her life. She's married with kids and all of this stuff. And good God, and of course, what ends up happening when Ivy and Harley get drunk, they end up hooking up. Yeah. And yes, let's mention, thank you, Joe Greer, Catwoman, of course, voiced by the great Santha Latham. I probably murdered her name. I know I did. But we actually get to hear her talk a little bit more this time. And I didn't notice before, but she's actually drawing out some consonant, some vowels. So it sounds like she's purring almost when she's talking. And I was like, that was actually really good. They did a really good job. And I think she's supposed to be playing Catwoman live. No, maybe I'm mistaken. That's right. She's not playing Catwoman in the Battinson one. Yeah, I forget who's playing Catwoman in that one. But yeah, she would have the way she just kind of purred through those lines. That was actually pretty nice. But we find out, after, of course, Poison Ivy and Harley hook up. Poison Ivy's like, this is a mistake. And she's like, I need to get the fuck off the island. She can't, of course, and is going to stay in her room until Harley's like, come on out. I got one big surprise for you. And she finds out that what Harley's really real intention was that they were going to party the first night. And then the second night, Eris, who is basically has Queen Hippolyta she's got her possessed. So she's working with Lex Luthor to take over the Themyscira Island and make it into a day spa for A-listers, as she said, Haddad and those type kind of people. Yeah. And I was just, so of course she said, what we're going to do is we're going to enjoy the spa the first night, and then we're going to destroy the island the second night, take down the bad guys. And this, of course, falls right into Poison Ivy's wheelhouse. And as she puts it, when she's drunk and she's grabbing onto Catwoman and Harley, calling them the Cobb Squad, because that's where they met first. It was over a Cobb salad, which, of course, she hates. And that they all should get tattoos that say Cobb Squad on there. And, of course, so who is the only one who gets the Cobb Squad tattoo but Poison Ivy? Yeah. And calls themselves the Cobb Squad. Yeah. So Viking Bitch says it was very thoughtful party that she planned. Drinking, murder, and environmental shit. Yeah, exactly. It really was. So there's actually some really good lines in there too. I like when they first wake up in bed together, and Poison Ivy says, "Piss cakes of a dick," which I just started laughing because I was like, that's actually a pretty good, swear phrase right there, is piss cakes of a dick. And then, of course, Harley sitting outside Poison Ivy's door and says, "You're here, you're queer, get used to it." Oh, man. There's just so many good little lines in this one, too. Yeah. Yeah, and as Eris said, only A-listers are coming to that island. Haddad and above is what she says. And I'm like, wow. That's pretty, yeah. Yeah. But of course, Jennifer, I love how Jennifer gets in on this. Is that at first she's like, no, I can't murder anybody. And then she asks the waitress, she goes, are these bottomless mimosas? And the waitress shakes her head no. And she's like, let's kill the fucking bitch. And I mean, that was fucking hilarious. It really was. And so, of course, Jennifer is going whole hog with the sword, cutting up Amazons, and Nora Freeze trying to disconnect Lex Luthor from the Zoom chat that he's got going on. And oh my God. And of course, once they break the spell, what does Queen Hippolyta do? But throw a fucking rager. That's right. Which leads to a second hookup. And Harley basically telling, Poison Ivy that, hey, you know what? I love you. I'll always be there for you. I'm just going to leave that up there. You think about it. Let me know, kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not really into murder. I work at an insurance company. Yeah. Yeah, this did really have some really good setups. Ivy did have a good point at the end as well. So yeah, when they step off the plane, Jennifer gets off the plane and meets her husband and her baby, of course, and says, I'm going by Jen now. What happened on the island? And Nora has brought Maxie Zeus home with her, and of course is screwing his brains out because, of course, her husband is dead. And Poison Ivy basically tells Harles, that, hey, you know what? You are so flighty. You jump from one thing to another. She goes, I trust you with my life, but I can't trust you with my heart, is what she says. And Kite Man's there and basically says, hey, babe, want to go and get, cook some chili and sit on the couch for 4 to 6 hours watching TV? And she's like, yeah, and takes off. So we know also that she is not. So this is the other thing too. So in the B-roll, King Shark has to go back to his kingdom in order to marry Tabitha of the Hammerhead clan. Otherwise, it's going to bring war to the shark people. And he goes back, tells his father off, says, nope, I'm not going to do it. But of course, he ends up getting married. And Tabitha and him have an arrangement that they're going to be married in name only, and they can see other people, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not surprised he got married. So he alluded to this before. There's like 1 or 2 throwaway lines in a couple episodes previously that he's talked about the Hammerhead clan and the betrothed Tabitha. So it's glad that we actually got this put together. I love that they actually did this. It was a nice little, building up King Shark a bit as well. And then also when he comes back on board, he says, yeah, and Kite Man's like, wait a minute, you got married to someone you don't even know? And King Shark's like, yeah. He goes, how many times did you propose to her? None. And he goes, you mean she didn't turn you down multiple times? So Kite Man is starting to realize, it's getting into his head that Poison Ivy might see him as the safe option. That's the reason why she said yes. And I think where they're going to be going with this is that Kite Man is going to be the one to break off the marriage. Is what's going to happen. So this has kind of planted that seed of doubt in Kite Man's head. And yeah, and not don't finish that goddamn puzzle until he comes back. And I love Clayface wearing Aquaman under Speedos. I just thought that was actually kind of funny too. Yeah. Yeah, his whole armor thing. I mean, there's so much good stuff in this. I watched it twice. I went through and watched it twice. And by the way, Eris is voiced by Jamila Jamal. Of course, from The Good Place. Tahani from The Good Place. And so that was, actually brilliant as well. I love that she got a voice in there as well. There's so many good voice actors on this show that come in and do great work, and it matches the writing too. The writing's just, like I said, I keep saying this time and time again. If you don't have good writing on a show, no one's going to care about your characters. No one's going to care about, the relationships that are invested. I mean, come on, we're invested in a group of animated characters, Kite Man and Poison Ivy and Harley, basically all these characters that we've been watching from season 1, on, and to have an investment in their relationships, in how they are going to, because we don't want to see Kite Man get hurt. Quite honestly, we don't want to see Harley get hurt either. We don't want to see Poison Ivy get hurt, and we don't want to see them hurt each other, kind of thing either. So yeah. So that is what is really good about this show, is the writing, actually cares about the character. So yes, you can do this as a comedy. It shows that you can do comedy about established comic book characters that have been around for decades and still have fun with it, and still make it your own kind of thing as well, without disrespecting the source material. Big shock, I know. Yeah. Movie Fanobi says the show is very well put together and the episodes are pretty short too. They deserve a lot of credit. Yeah, they do. They really do deserve a lot of credit. I feel bad for Kite Man, but at the same time, I have a feeling he's going to be the one to end it, like I said, and that is how it's going to end well for everybody involved, because he's going to realize that Poison Ivy is, taking him as a safe option when she really loves Harley and vice versa. And yeah, so yeah, that is the whole thing. And I did love Tabitha's, you really don't want to, when King Shark's like, you really don't want to marry me, do you? She goes, what gave you that idea? The fact that I'm smoking underwater? Ah, some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, it really is. But oh, good, good stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's episode as well. And this season has not been a disappointment at all. It really hasn't. They have kept everything. They've upped their, they've upped the game on all of this. They moved out of Gotham, which was good. I believe next week we're going to have some repercussions to last week's episode, Parademons and Inner Parademons, I guess you could say. How many are left? There's 13 episodes, so we're in episode 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 4 more episodes. There you go. I can count on my fingers. I can count to 21 if I'm naked. Let's not go there. All right. So, what else I've got going on this week? Tomorrow I'm off. Sunday is going to be Sunday morning blast off. Hopefully, that's what's going on. That's where I take the genre news of the week and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it with you guys too. And on Monday is going to be Stargirl. Sorry, little dog is having some nightmares. That's what she's making little squeaky noises about. So yeah, Monday is going to be Stargirl from DC Universe. Tuesday, I think I'm going to do a special episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I'm going to be talking about HBO Max. I'm going to be talking about a streaming channel on Is It Worth My Time? Because I think it needs to be said, quite honestly. Yeah, there's some issues with HBO Max. Let's just say that. Wednesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? This time I'm going to do Solar Opposites is what I'm going to do. Either that or Space Force. I think Space Force, I'm hearing bad things about Space Force, so I might do Solar Opposites instead. Yeah. But, and then of course we wrap it all back around again to Friday with Harley Quinn. Yeah. I did watch the first of Stargirl. Watch the second one, Viking Bitch. Seriously, the first one isn't that great. The second one is what seals the deal, actually. So there was a whole thing that I read. So what AT&T is doing with CW, DC Universe, and HBO Max, and this is why I think DC Universe might be safe for right now and not get folded into HBO Max. So they are 3 different revenue streams. They are 3 different ways of making their DC content. So what they're doing is the CW is the lowest tier, so they spend the lowest amount of money on it, and it shows, quite honestly. DC Universe is the middle tier. That is where you're getting a little bit more money than what you would get for the CW. And so that is what's going on. And then HBO Max is where you're spending like HBO money. So they are doing that with HBO Max. So that is why you have the Green Lantern series premiering on HBO Max rather than being on DC Universe. And the reason why why Doom Patrol is on both DC Universe and HBO Max is because they're sharing the money. DC Universe is paying for part of Doom Patrol, and so is HBO Max. So that is the reason. It was too expensive. They weren't going to do a season 2 with just DC Universe because they didn't have the money for it until HBO Max came about. Yeah. I really like Penn's positivity towards I have had enough of teens. That was Viking Bitch that said that. Oh, about Penn saying really great. No, it wasn't that. She was talking about what I was saying there. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's the reason what's going on there. She is she is the best mod. So I mean, come on. We already know this. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Let me plug everything once again, and then we'll get out of here. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end here. You'll see a video pop up here. If you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button down there. If you want to know when I'm going live again next, hit the bell. It's a 50-50 chance. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there for all my live streams and also all the links to my social media as well. Other than that, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you again on Sunday for Sunday morning blast off. So until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, well, they only allow women on Themyscira, So I wouldn't be able to go there because you get killed if you're a guy just as soon as you get off the plane, is what they say. So don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself in the middle of a vast Lex Luthor conspiracy to take over an all-female island and make it into a spa. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Sunday. Until then, have a good night and stay safe. Thanks, everybody.